Okay, it's the 20th of June 2025. I'm carrying right on from that last video just made, trimming that bowl. So I just got 3 mugs here that I've got to put handles on, just regular tankards. I pulled the handles an hour ago. They're set up there. They're here on the board, ready for me. I've got a bucket of water here. I've got my banding wheel. I've got good lighting. So let's put on a handle. You've seen me do this about 1,000 times, I know, but the first thing we're going to do is where it's got a bevel on the base here, where when I threw it, I put an undercut with a stick. So what you can do is just dip your thumb in the water pot and just revolve it around like that and thumb off that bevel, okay? When you've done that, this has got a bit of blackness on it, you see that? And it's actually on the board here. That's because I've had these mugs kept under wraps, under plastic for about a week, and your mold starts to occur. Okay, so to put on the handle, dip your... Are we in the picture? Oh yeah, are we in the picture? Hang on. I think so. Alright, so to do it, first dip your finger in the water pot. Point of attachment is there on the elbow. So with the water on the end of your finger that you've just dipped in the water pot, scratch the attachment point there. Key the surface, okay? Make the slip. Now this is important, okay? Listen up. Do not have a separate pot of slip that you're adding to the pot to attach your handle. Make the slip from the pot with water and your fingernail. If you can get into the habit of doing that, it'll save you a lot of anguish. Handle anguish. Do you get handle anguish? Okay, here's the handle. Now, after I pulled the handle, when my thumb came down like that and chopped it off, I now, using my knuckle, holding it as I am, use your knuckle to the knuckle of the thumb, I should say, yeah. So create that little bit extra clay there. Can you see that? And make the attachment area a little wider. Okay? Now, so keeping the mug on the banding wheel, offer the handle up to the keyed area with 2 fingers behind, and now what you're going to do is you're going to lightly push the butted end of the handle into that keyed area, okay? Keeping it supported, okay? This hand always supporting the handle. Okay, once you've done that, you can then with your index finger underneath, keeping it all the time on the banding wheel. Don't wave it around in the air, okay? Okay, and with the thumb across the top, we're going to take that extra bit of clay that we created when we head butted it, and we're going to smush it into the body of the pot, of the mug in this case. Smearing it in, smushing it in, okay, using your index finger and your thumb. When you've done that, keeping it still supported, okay, you see? Now we're going to take it to the vertical. Now you can let go the hand. Okay, now we're going to dip it in the water pot all the way up to the top there, and also my hand. Okay, now I'm going to start pulling this handle off the side of the pot. Bearing in mind this is a handle I've already pulled once, so I'm not doing a major pulling at the moment. This is really attachment and refreshing the handle by wetting it and sort of stroking it in a kind of way, up and down like this, just getting it nice and pliable, you see. Are we in the picture? I hope so. Okay, and now you see, still keeping it like that hanging. Grab it by the end here, all right? Bring the pot back to the vertical, but holding the end of the handle as you do it. It goes like this. You see, I'm supporting the end of the handle. So then gauging the size of the handle, bearing in mind it is going to shrink. I know we just done a video on this a video or two ago, but you know, it doesn't hurt to see things more than once, I tell you. So check it for that it's not going one way or the other. I want to make it sure it's straight on the pot, okay? And also check it in this dimension, and you can also check it above like that, all right? So a three-way check, so you don't end up with handle anguish at the end. Okay, now just taking my fingers here, just pushing that like that, and taking the end off. All right. And now, what I do with these, at this particular phase in my life, I'm not doing fishtails. Doing something different. So I'm rounding them off like that, and then what I do is I take a stamp, this one, and I push it in there. But I generally don't do that immediately because the clay is wet, you see, from... Put my personal seal right under the handle. So what I'll do is I'll put that to one side a moment. What I should have is a rounder. Whoa. So you can use a yogurt carton like that. Okay, don't apply too much pressure, just enough to make it go back to round. Okay. Okay, we'll do one more. Here it is. We still filming? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so dip your fingers, I told you. Point of attachment, okay. Now make the slip right here with your fingernail and that drop of water, okay. You're going to get the best handle attachment like that. Used with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Okay, so now using that knuckle again, okay? If anyone called you a knucklehead before, you could say, yes, I am a knucklehead, and I use my knuckles. Okay? See, get that little bit extra clay there, you see? Keep it on the banding wheel, 2 fingers behind, apply the handle to the keyed area, keeping it supported. Gentle pressure. Now with the index finger underneath, smear that clay into the body of the mug. With the thumb across the top, smear that clay on the top side of the handle into the mug, keeping it supported all the time. Now take it to the vertical. You can drop it into the water pot. Drop your hand into the water pot. And now we're going to get this handle nice and soft, you see, so you can... Handle wants to flow, you see. You don't want a handle with all sort of kind of like flat spots and hiccups on it. You know, you want to make it look like it's growing out of the side of the mug. Yeah. Okay, once you're happy with it, you're going to take the end of it and then you're going to put the handle back, sorry, the mug back to the vertical, meanwhile holding the end of the handle like this. You see, I can do that because I'm supporting the handle by holding the end of it. It's maintaining the arch of the handle, you see. Now I can bring it down. Gauge the distance that you think you need. Don't have them too big or sticking out wildly, you know. It looks terrible. Okay, check for straightness. Make any necessary adjustments. Apply some pressure here at the base with your finger, index finger and thumb, and then whip that little bit off. You don't have to do it like I'm doing it. There's different ways of doing it, which I'm not going to get into right now, but now I kind of apply some pressure and I round it off because I'm going to apply a seal or a stamp right there. So at this stage, just now cast your eye over the point of attachment above. Make sure that it's tidy. Don't over finger it. This is the problem with people who are doing handling. They over touch it. They over finger it because they don't know. Well, basically because they haven't learned, they don't have the skill sets yet, so they kind of get all bent out of shape about it and worried about it and anxious, and they feel they've got to keep touching it, and that makes it look not nice. You want to keep your handles fresh. Fresh, baby, fresh. Right, okay. So I'm just, okay, do this on here. I try to show you how to do this in a kind of disciplined, semi-disciplined kind of way. That's why I keep saying keep it down on the turntable, on the banding wheel here. Okay? Point of attachment, dip your finger, and now we're going to scratch and sniff. Sorry, these things coming to my mind. Scratch and sniff. What? Okay, right, let's take a handle. Alright. Let's get this handle in order. No buts about it, okay? Here we go. See, I'm tapping the end like this. You need to hold it, you know, firmly, and then tap it, you see. That's why you got knuckles. Okay? Now, 2 fingers behind here, and apply the handle with a little bit of firm pressure, but not too. Okay, using my index underneath and using my thumb across the top here, keeping the handle supported in the palm of my hand, so to speak. Okay, keep it supported. Now to the vertical, in the water pot. I want you to make some mugs for me, okay? You lot out there who are watching. Make some mugs and put on some handles, and I want you to have my video playing in your workspace while you're doing this, okay? And I want you to follow each step exactly as I'm doing it. Okay? Just try copy what I'm doing. Copying is a wonderful way of learning. Just try and copy what I'm doing. Each movement, each action. Okay? There it is. Right, now hold it by the end. Now take the mug back to the vertical, supporting the handle. Watch. Okay. And now just, when you're satisfied it's in the right place, a little pressure here. Check it here for straightness. Just run a finger across the top joint and underneath there. Alright. Alright. Apply some pressure here and then nip this off like that. What could be simpler? Actually, I'll tell you what, you know what? Putting on handles is it's no laughing matter, is it? Especially if you haven't quite got it yet, you know, it takes a bit of skill putting on handles to do it well, you know, nicely. Okay. Always casting your eye over the pot that there are no nail marks. Let's supposing there's a nail mark. Oh dear, look, I made a nail mark. What are you going to do about that? You've got a nail mark. Let's say you've got a few nail marks, you see. Do you ever get them? How are you going to deal with them? I'll tell you what, just take your finger, turn it around, and use the nail as a sort of burnishing tool, and just smooth them back in using the back side of your nail. Any finger will do. And then you can just... Okay, and you're good to go. Clay is very forgiving, isn't it? Alright. Okay, there it is. Let's put the seal on this guy. Now I've got a couple extra handles here, because I told you in the other video the other day, always pull an extra handle. In this case I pulled 2 because I thought I had 4 mugs but I only had 3. But anyway, so taking that, put that in there, like that. These 3 mugs I've just done. So that little, I'm just going to do one of these just to show you. Taking this little piece of clay, which is a rolled up piece of clay and bisque fired, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to push it into there like this. Okay, it just, that is the termination there, you see. All right. Yep, there it is, folks. Thanks for watching. There are workshops available if anybody wants to come on a workshop. Check my website out for dates. Other than that, yeah, if you've made some good pots, you know, well, write to me. If you want a critique of some pots you've made, or you want me to give you an honest feedback, then write to me and I will. Free of charge. How about that? No, seriously. If you want a critique and you want to improve, if you're serious about your pottery and you really want to improve, write to me, and if I can, I'll give you a critique. Okay. Hey, thanks for watching. SimonLeachPottery.com is my website. Check out stuff there. Tools, etc. I was supposed to have had a firing, but I didn't have one quite yet. It's coming. I'm getting my pots ready. You can see on the table here. Alright folks, hey, hasta la vista.